What up traders, what up investors, Ken here from the Dyslexic Investor, and we are going to be looking at a multitude of stories within the Wall Street Bets forum, talking about this overall market downswing, kind of giving some technical background, looking at option pricing and the likelihood of it being profitable, looking at why some options are not all created equal, things like that. So let's go ahead and just do a quick recap here. We're going to be jumping into our very first story. So this is Eat Swamps A-word, basically kind of highlighting what we've talked about before of hitting this fib here of the 618 percentile move from the swing high to swing low. Basically the price target around 294 to 295 for a potential breakthrough. You saw that we basically had a double tap here and just kind of have not been able to get out of our own way to potentially try to break above that. And this guy's initial support line is around 274 to 278. I kind of slightly agree with that, but there is going to be stronger support at the 50% retracement initially, which is the like 277, but then potentially more support on the way down. So the larger levels of support are going to be basically coming in around 272 directly, and then a very large support around 262 for those support levels. So that's I like to see these kind of articles on Wall Street Bets that kind of keeps things fresh and entertaining, and basically saying everyone on Wall Street Bets start buying those puts until that level, which is at this point it's going to be hard to buy puts unless there's more of a market swing lower. And then I wanted to share this awesome little meme here. Basically, this is just sums up on what's going on today, and the bears are just kicking us right in the gut. So that was just a funny little meme I wanted to share. Then we wanted to look at why not all options are created equal. So this individual here made a pretty substantial bet, about $1,400 worth, of looking at the market coming down and crashing. He gave himself, I don't know exactly when he bought these options, but looking at giving himself a very short date of time of saying of this Friday that he was betting that we could potentially see a market sell-off. As you can see today, even with the 5%, like a little over 4% in the last 2 days decline, he's only up $8. He's up 200%, but his initial investment has basically gone to zero, and that's due to the theta within the options that are basically linked to the expiration date. So an option 2 weeks out or 14 days, theta decay is really going to start kicking in and make this option, if it's not near or at the in the money strike price or at the strike price where the current stock is trading at, the theta is going to kick in. It's just going to kill the premium in it, and it's just going to start going down to zero, and closer it gets to that expiration date. So two things they could have done is just gotten out of it if they had showing of the upward market strength. Again, he didn't say or show when he bought this. We can only guess. Guessing he probably bought at this area here, the beginning of April potentially, or in this huge kick up in the second or third week of April, looking for a downswing. But you can kind of see here with the overall trend, the 8 crossed over the 21, so did the 5, and then we start trading well above the 21, came down, kind of touched it, came down, kind of touched it, but then we hit that overhead resistance we kind of talked about. But now today we are breaking below the 21, so if we close below the 21, that basically resets everything that we've worked at this past basically 3 weeks, and kind of has to reset things of potentially just trading sideways. But once this 8, which is the pink line, starts crossing into the 21, that could be a more steep downturn. And again, we're looking around the 271, 272 level, and then the 264-ish level, which we said earlier. So even if his options, again, expiring in 2 days, the stock comes all the way down to 250, it's not going to have too much movement in that options premium, because the likelihood within 2 days the whole market going down 20-30% in a day. Again, anything can happen. I don't have a crystal ball. He doesn't have a crystal ball. Jerome Powell doesn't have a crystal ball. But that could, it's just ill-advised. So just be careful out there. So this kind of goes back to this one as well. So this guy actually made a really steep bet here too. Betting basically 5 puts at the average cost of $11.52, netting him basically a total loss of nearly $5,700. Again, buying the 228 strike price put expiring this Friday as well. So again, this individual made the bet through his assumptions on the market coming all the way down to fill this kind of gap down here. Again, anything can happen, but again, he only gave himself 2 more days for this to come true. We are selling off a little bit today, but the likelihood, even the options markets are saying for this close of plus or minus $7. That would not even put it near. We're talking 2-3 deviations away. We can kind of look at here. So he's making the price at, was it 228? So the 3 deviation is just at 265. So the likelihood of a large deviation move is not even in the books, to be quite honest. We would need to have the next 3 days break a 4 or 5 deviation move in 2 consecutive days, and that's not very likely if we're talking numbers. So poor dude here, down $6,000. Then that being said, so again, not all options are created equal. My buddy here, he actually has the May 13 strike price here, for the strike price at 282. So again, this is much closer to the current stock price. What the ETF is trading. Again, he's up nearly 4,000%, $6,500 here, showing really good strength here. Again, his option is currently in the money, so which is giving him the nice premium of behind the, well, actually he's on the 13th, so he is well in the money. Most likely sold out already, but you can kind of see here, this option is closing today, and they're saying plus or minus $2. But you still see there's no activity well past like the 1 deviation here, and this is expiring basically in an hour, and you're seeing next to 0 activity going on. So we jump back out to the 15th here, which is expiring this Friday, and we have that one guy had the 228. There's no activity there. That option is completely dead. And then the other guy, I think he had like the 230 or something like that. But again, you see no options activity here between the ask and the bid. Basically, and start we hitting up to around the 250 level. And again, that is just basically the market makers just selling premium and just closing out positions here. Then you can start seeing some things come up here. So again, the 3 deviations what we're talking about is basically around the 264 level. So you start seeing potential movement here. Again, anything can happen, but is it likely to have a 3 deviation move? Again, something really bad has to happen. So these options are still somewhat in play, but come to the close of tomorrow, these will most likely be off the table if the market hasn't moved significantly lower. So just be super mindful of that when you're playing options within the overall market trend, and be mindful of the deviation moves, and in particular the theta decay behind just buying straight directional calls. So just be very mindful out there. Hope you guys learned something. Again, alright, so I just wanted to have you for 30 more seconds and looking at potentially helping support the channel. We have 2 basically Patreon levels, looking to add some more, potentially seeing how everything goes. We talk basically some wonderful charts we kind of share, some watch lists that I use, some scanners. I'm potentially going to be adding some more intimate talks about stocks and things like that. And talking about intimate talks and wonderful things, we also have a Discord you can join completely free, and we talk about really great things from every kind of stuff. Talk about why I'm not a big fan of Chinese stocks and things like that, due to Luckin and other companies that have been really not the greatest. And then we just have a great little time there, about nearly 100 folks there, really fun. Again, free to join, and if you want to help support the channel, check out the Patreon. Again guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.